Is working? Yoink. Okay. I think it's working. Wait a minute. Wait a minute now. Okay, I think we're good. So, here we are. Um, we gotta find something to draw because we did end up finishing our thing last night. Um, I really like this style, but I feel like it's too stylized for me, and I definitely don't understand the colors. So maybe we don't. There's my dumbass shit. God damn, it looks like ass. I kind of want to draw this chicken. Can you lock the fuck in? Should we draw the lock the fuck in chick? Chicken? Maybe. Probably. I was thinking maybe this would be a simple face, but probably not. There's the actual person. I ended up liking those because I'm like, fuck, I accidentally drew this person. Um, yeah, there's so much shit to like draw that I just don't think I can draw. I think this is hilarious. Double fist and Bergs. I just don't think I can pull this off. A bit much for me. This is the completed version of that work in progress that we totally stole from. It's actually not too much different. I think they like removed a strap from their dress, and I don't understand it at all, to be honest with you. So like, I don't know what this is. It's like ink, but then like it morphs into a dress. It's very weird. Um, and the shadows are a little better blended than what we had seen. Uh, yeah, I don't know what to pull from here. I kind of want to draw this because I think it's fucking funny. It's just a fucking VTuber as a horse. I don't know. I think that's fucking hilarious, but it's already like a shit post. I don't know if I can turn it into more shit. And now we're back to where we were. Do, 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 do. I should really have picked something before starting. I think I might go for this and then like color it in for myself. Cause I like the eye perspective of it. You know what I mean? I'd go for this, but I just don't think I can do the whole body. So I don't think it's worth trying. Like I'm just not there. You know what I mean? Like we got a whole ass jacket and like jeans. You know, we got like a jacket, a hoodie. I don't see me being able to pull that off within a couple of days. So I don't know, man. The thing with this one though is I don't know what's going on with like I think the shoulders. What is this? Like at a glance it makes perfect sense, but like looking at it and trying to decipher it and how I'm gonna do it for myself doesn't add up. Maybe we do the chicken. I'm drawing the chicken. So their chicken here is gonna help me lock the fuck in apparently. Um, does not have an outline. Do I try to match that? I don't think I can. Well, we're gonna try. I don't think I can. Let's just draw the outline and we can delete it later. What do we think of that? We're gonna try and draw Chicken Man. It's not a chicken man, it's just chicken. We're gonna have some nuggies, alright? We'll see what we can pull off here. What color are we on? I knew it. I knew it. It wasn't gonna be black. Nice try, Buster Brown. Okay, so let's do. Oh, it's. Yo, what that beak do, girl? Shit. Let's get the shape down. This could literally be any fucking bird. Squawk-a-doodle-doo! Alright, hold on. Let's zoom in here. First off, there's a huge issue. It's a common issue with my dumbass. Right? We drew this bitch crooked. So we're gonna have to fix that. Look at them grippers. I might draw a knife after this just as like something to do, and then maybe I will just actually see if I can draw. Like if I sit out to draw like a character, maybe I'll actually see if I can draw them, you know what I mean? It's gonna have to be a very simple pose though. I'm just not that guy. Why does the back leg look bigger? Am I crazy? Shouldn't this look smaller? Okay. So, first things first, I'm the realist. We gotta tilt, bro. We gotta lock bro the fuck in. Okay. Select Odico. Oh, I can't deselect because I didn't select. Am I stupid? Wait, maybe I should draw this. This is from, I think, Knives Ship Free. I assume it's their design. I don't know. They could have stole it from somewhere. It could be AI generated. It's just a sticker they've sent me in the past. It's cool. I like it. There's a duck holding a knife in front of mountains for some reason. That's weird. My phone hasn't told me I'm live yet. It's kind of confusing. Usually it like goes off. Go off, King. Okay. How come the first bit of that didn't come out? Interesting. Alright, so let's lart this bitch up. Let's try and get this nice and clean. Oh my god. Why did that feel wrong? Hmm. I feel like this beak is too short. Maybe we don't add that yet. That ain't right. That also is not right. It's like too duck formed, bro. What am I drawing? Listen here, chuckle fuck. Bro's duck coded. That was weird. Why didn't that work the first time? Okay. Yeah, somehow bro's turning into a duck, and I can't say that that's what I wanted, so it's not really ideal. Have I ever seen a chicken before? Like, what the fuck am I doing? Are chickens real? I don't think chickens are real. Jesus. Why that's so hard? Hard. No way that just now we're getting the notification, right? You know what? What if I do like that on top of that? Right? Like chicken got the thing. Oh wait, this isn't even. Oh. Bum 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 ba da ba ba da ba da ba da bum. All right. So if we go ahead and hide the sketch, feels off, right? Like something about this isn't right. I can't put my finger on it, but it's not adding up. So let's try and fix that up. I think maybe a part of it. Well, maybe what I do is I start coloring it in, then we remove the line art. Maybe that's what we gotta do. Would that be smart? Rick and Smorty. I think we're gonna try that. It's gonna be strange. Actually, wait. Let's do an eye before we start. Okay. So let's just lock the fuck in. Actually. Oh no, it didn't seal. Where is it broken? Here. Broken right there. It's also broken down there. No. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. The thing is, we don't need this to necessarily not be, you know? We just need it not to be, you know? To be or not to be. That is a sentence. Ba 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 ba. Ba ba da ba bum. Dum da dum 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 dum. Blah, 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 blah. Wap, 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 wap. Wamp, 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 wamp. Okay. So now we should be able to select a Dicko. We are still unable to select a Dicko. If I select, deselect, and then do it. Still breaking free. There. God, this shit's so annoying. Like this whole line, apparently. Yep. Still breaking free. I want to break free. I'm close to just giving up. It's like a matter of how much more time am I going to have to spend on something that was supposed to be quick and easy. Okay, we're finally fucking in. Jesus. Okay. All right. So, I say we pick a couple of like orangish reds. We make a little palette town down here. P-town. Of course. I mean, why would it, you know? All right. Hold on. Okay. Maybe pick out like an orange. All right. Maybe pick out like a very orange. Mm-hmm. Okay. Maybe like a yellow orange. Maybe like, well, let's go back. Hold on. Go back to that and then like, oh, actually, how about let's go here and then take whatever that yellow here is. Maybe something like that. Couple of colors. Maybe like a little darker. It's gonna be like a greenish. We'll see. Oh, we're gonna need a red. So how about a red? And that looks like maybe a brown. So like somewhere in here, maybe. There we go. Okay. All right, let's just fucking send it, shall we? So, what is going on here? Let's go to Lart. Just reselect it and let's just start over. We'll just call this base for now, but I don't know that we're going beyond a base. This is tough. Do I start light and then put darker over it? Or do I start darker because I'm going to try and do this all on the same level or layer, I guess. Do I start darker and go lighter over it? You know what I mean? I feel like there's logic behind starting lighter because going light to dark will be easier in general. But going dark to light is a little harder. But at the same time, if if it's all on one layer, I think it won't matter that much. They have an interesting brush here. I wonder if I can like find a better brush for this occasion. The problem with most of the digital brushes I found is at like this stage, okay, it looks very much like a brush stroke, but if I just keep going, it ends up looking exactly the same as anything else. So you need the white to show through, but like that doesn't look good. So I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna test here. God, this looks so bad to like start with. Um, so what if we like maybe hit him with that? So this isn't even drawing anything right now. That's not ideal. I feel like my colors in general are maybe a little too saturated. I think what I need is a different brush. I just don't know how to do it though. So what does this brush do? That doesn't have the right effect. Sponge? Yeah, I don't think so. Has whoever made that, I don't think has ever used a sponge in their entire fucking life. That might be something. Maybe that, actually. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, this is just kind of blending into a more solid color, and that's not really what I wanted. If that makes sense. What I can maybe do, though, is like get a base down and maybe do like a layer over this with something to maybe try and get that like painted look. So like I'll have some stuff here. And it just looks like I'm smearing poop on the fucking canvas. No, that's the red. What am I doing? Yeah, this tool has a little too much blend in it, to be honest with you. I don't think this was the right tool for the job. Maybe a little bit of black, like right here. You know, I think a big part of my problem is just how big this is. Yeah, making it a little more, I guess, small, rather. Little more little. as I feel really increased the vibe. Okay. So what if I take the LART, hit just right there? Maybe like a smidge of brown over it. And then like just I'm gonna regret this. You know? Okay. So let's go back. I think it's time to maybe hide LART and then select, deselect. Let's do another color layer. Let's find what we were just on, which probably isn't gonna happen now that I'm thinking about it. That's not good. That is white. That's why that's not showing. It's not a terrible one. It's just not what I feel like we need right now. It's like somehow it's not dark enough. Like it's not filled enough, but it's like too dark at the same time. I don't know how to describe it. What does this thing do? This might be like close to what they used, but with like a brush stroke to it. Oh, okay. So depending on the direction with this one is what it does. That's interesting. I don't know. I feel like this has potential, but just not with me. It kind of looks like an apple that someone cut into the shape of a fucking duck or something. I think that's the worst part. It does not at all look like a fucking chicken. I don't like that. I can tell you that much. Okay. Oh, I never did the fucking feet. I'm an idiot. Yeah, let's do the feet real quick. Hold on, hold on, hold on. There we go. Sorry about that. Somebody's probably just fucking screaming. Like, the feet! The feet, you stupid motherfucker! Do the goddamn feet! It's not quite right, but I don't know how to find that brush again, dude. That was actually a really solid brush for what I was doing. Okay, that's not too bad. Turn that a little yellow at the tippity tippitus. Alright, that's got the general shape right. We'll just have to fucking deal with that. Maybe something like this. And then... Why does this feel weird? Good enough for me, I guess. Not really. Okay, select, deselect. Let's keep her going. Wait, what color do I even have selected? The brown. Okay. This is not the right brush, is it? Is this the right brush? I don't think so. I think this is it. Yep. Okay. Let's pick maybe this orange here. I don't know. That one's like too orange, isn't it? What if I like lower the opacity on this brown? Does that give me the effect I was hoping for? Not really. It just kind of blends. Fuck am I drawing, bro? Never drawn a fucking chicken in my life. I think it looks so goofy. I'm gonna lose it soon. Yo, what's that beak doing, bro? I don't remember how to set this. So, we're probably not gonna get it set. Damn it. There it is. What if I shrink it? Will that help me? Why does that feel so small? Nope. Okay. Wait, what if that was always the play? I think I just realized what a better play would have been. Base color. And then oh my god, that would have been so smart. Okay. Should have been like a base layer of brown and then like a couple of other colors and then like white on it on occasion. That's how I should have done it. God, I didn't think that through. Ah, that's too orange right now. I don't know how to explain it. That's just like a tangerine orange, and I don't want that at this moment. This is kind of like a complete departure of what we've been working on. Okay. Chicken feet, chicken feet. Oh, chicken, 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 chicken feet. Ba-dum, bum, bum. You know, zoomed out, it kind of looked like a chicken. Mostly look like chicken. I keep picking that red, and that's not what I want. I think it's this orange. Where I've never seen a fucking chicken in my life. I have, by the way. My grandparents used to own chickens. My grandfather hated them. They would always peck them. So what happens if I hide that? Oh my god. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Man, fuck Chicken Little. This is Chicken Big. That's a big ass chicken. It's weird. I feel like I'm done, but I don't know. I don't feel like I should be done. I don't know how to put it. Like, I feel like I'm just changing the way the chicken looks a little bit, but not really, like, adding anything. This is kind of what I was talking about last night with the other thing where I was like, well, I can change some things, but I don't think it's going to improve it. I can maybe make the tail a little bigger just to, like, really show chickenosity here. Let me put a little bit of red in there. A little bit of black. Whatever the fuck this color is. I've been trying to generally keep, for two reasons, I've been trying to generally keep the, like, strokes a similar direction. The first reason is uh the angle, so like the brush strokes are just gonna look different and slash or weirder. I don't fucking know how to explain that. If I don't. And the other reason is I just feel like it'll be more cohesive if it does just kind of flow the same way no matter what. I don't know how to explain it. Holy cluck. Alright. Does not look as good as the original in classic me fashion. But it does look like a chicken. Alright? That's something. Maybe just add like some white up here. How's your chicken shading game, bro? I don't want that. That's too light. I just kind of want, like, to lighten it in certain spots. I'm having trouble with it. All right. I think we might call it on the chick. All right. Okay. I'm gonna save this as Cluck the fucking save it. Oh, I didn't change it to a PNG, which is probably for the best. Uh File, save as. Let's change it to a PNG now. Bro, those feet is kind of green. I don't like it. Bro still ended up kind of fucking lopsided, huh? All right, so let's take a second though. So the original, just like mine, kind of has like gaps where you can see through it. The original feels, I know it's digital, but it just feels so much more like a painting, and I don't know that that's 100% a brush helping them. Like almost certainly not, but I do think it's probably like 95% I don't know what I'm doing and I'm just winging it. So like of course I don't have the same look. And then like 5% they had a brush that really just fucking locks them in. Like it really helps. Right? And I don't know that shit. So of course I don't. Okay. All right. What the cluck am I doing, bro? Let's create a new one. Let's take that and we got this right here. It's either this or the duck. The problem with the duck thing is it's kind of small. And you guys can't really see it. Hmm. Should we draw a duck? It's duck or this? So let's go duck. No, let's draw this. We recently sharpened it. Why not? Plus, this one has kind of a strange blade shape. It's kind of like a Bowie harpoon, like Skinner almost. It's a hybrid. It's like some sort of harpoon clip point Bowie thing. I don't know. But it's kind of tall. But maybe we can get the wood texture on this. I really like this is box elder. I like the wood texture on it where it's like almost swirls together. I don't know if that's visible. Maybe this side's the better look. Maybe we can capture that. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. I don't think I have a picture of this, although I should, because that would be a lot easier to draw, because then the shadows would be right, no matter what. I'm actually a fucking moron. You know what? What if I do this? No, it was Alt, right? What? Oh, it was this. My bad. This might be harder to draw, actually. It's actually why I picked this. I think this would help me with maybe some like curvature based like hair things maybe. I'm about to sneeze. I don't like that. Okay. Jesus Christ, what am I doing? The hell's bro cooking up over here? Just hold on and let me cook. Okay. What's crazy to me about this is how off that is and how big I still made it. Holy. You know, as a sketch, I probably should have just deleted everything and started over. God damn it. Feel like I'm about to sneeze, so I don't know what to do because I want to hold this so I can look at it better. But I want to be able to cover like my mouth and grab a tissue. I'm gonna lose it. Oh boy. There we go. You know what? Done. You're done. All right. Okay. God, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze again. I swear it's every time I like touch that knife or think about touching it. Little metal flakes are probably coming off of it. Probably shouldn't be this close to a computer. Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna show the like I don't know what to call it, stippling, the forge marks. Um Definitely not gonna draw it the grind lines the same because they're pretty off. Uh Okay. I want to be clear, it's still a pretty good knife, even though some of the grind lines are off. You can get like $1,000 knives that are like full custom. And, you know, as something that's handmade and hand hammered, especially, you're you're just bound to get something that's not perfect, right? Like, I know a lot of people would probably complain about it, but like, for me, you have to be realistic. This was done by, I don't even know. I think he's got to be in his 60s. I believe he recently retired. Late 50s or 60s, probably. Maybe, I mean, he recently retired from knife making. This is Lon Humphrey. Um, this is blacktail or whitetail. I don't know. Some sort of tail. Um, Maybe, you know what, he might not actually be that old. It could just be that I think that because movies have made me think older gentleman with a big old white beard is like honestly like 100. It's so crazy. Hold on. We're gonna get off off topic. There's no topics here. We just make shit up, all right? It's so crazy to me. Like older movies, you'd have like a 50-year-old play like a 70-year-old. You know what I mean? You'd have a 60-year-old play like an 80-year-old. And they looked older. Part of that's like smoke inhalation, right? Getting black lung from working the coal mines, probably having to have fought in a fucking devastating war, right? And not that, you know, people these days haven't unfortunately been sent off to war, but um, you know, they were most likely drafted against their will. But we had worse skincare, right? Worse practices. You know, people use sunscreen to protect themselves from the sun. There's more commonality with like hats and whatnot. Um, the air is cleaner, the water's cleaner. You know, bathing habits are better, and quite frankly, power and water are more available. So, like, of course, people look younger, right? Healthcare, as acid as it, you know, is in this country, where a lot of films are made, it's gotten better, right? It's gotten better. So, like, of course, people look younger these days compared to how it was, and of course, visual effects to make them look otherwise also have become more prevalent. Anyway, the guy might not be as old as I'm thinking just because I grew up watching older movies because that's what my family had in the house, and they generally wouldn't take me to go see new stuff. Like I would see, you know, new stuff maybe 2 or 3 years after it was released because it was rented, which isn't that far off. But like before that, you know, I'm watching stuff from like the year I was born, right? I'm watching stuff from before I was born, right? I mean, when when was like Tombstone made? I think that was made like, yeah, right after I was born. Uh, we have hold on. Let's see, Mortal Kombat, the first film, 95, right after I was born, right? Like a couple years. Uh, I mean, shit, the old TMNTs before I was born. But then there's also like fuck. Why can't I think of older movies? Like stuff from like the pre pre 90s stuff. You know what I mean? Like I would that's what we had on VHS. So that's what I watched because I wasn't allowed to do anything else. So that's what I got. And people just look generally older in those films because the the health and skincare just weren't as good. So like you had people who were at the time probably like 60 to 70, you know, and they're playing like a man who's about to die of old age. And for that time, they looked, I guess, 60 or 70. But by today's day and age, they look like they're 90. And someone who's 60 or 70 today looks like they're 60 or 70 today. But like it, if you grew up kind of thinking, oh shit, that person's that person died in that movie because they were too goddamn old. Um, and then you don't think about it because it's like they're not actually that old. But like you're used to that being just dying of natural causes age. Um, right? It feels different. It hits different. And like the reality is they're probably okay. If they're in relatively good health, they're probably fine. Um, I genuinely don't. I feel like there's an age range where like anyone past like 20, like 20 to 40, you can look way older or you can look way younger, and I probably wouldn't be able to tell, right? You're just somewhere in there, you know? And then it's like 45 to like 65 again. You can just look whatever. I don't know. You could be anywhere in there. And then there's a lot of people who are like, I mean, obviously there's like cases of people being in like their 30s and oh, she looks 14 and she can't find a boyfriend because everyone, she does find is after her because they're creeps. But like, you know, generally speaking, I just can't tell how old someone is if they're like under 18. I don't even know if I'd say under 18. It's more like you can kind of tell that like a 16-year-old is probably like as tall as they're gonna get. Like, I mean, unless, well, if they're 6'5", Jesus Christ, they're so fucked. But you know what I mean? Like an 8-year-old and a 16-year-old don't look the same. But like, I don't know that I'd be able to tell the difference between like a small 10-year-old and like a 7-year-old. You know what I mean? Or like, I don't know that I'd be able to tell the difference because some people like, I think I had like a fucking beard when I was in middle school. Like it was starting. So I would have been like 12, 13, and I was hitting my growth spurt era, right? And I was, uh, I don't know, like probably 5'8", 5'9" at that point, and I was approaching max height for me, and like I was starting to shoot up, and not meth. I mean like, not heroin, but like I was getting taller, right? And so it's like I don't know that I would have been able to tell the difference between me as a 13-year-old. Like I would have believed if I was like 15, 16. Because it's only actually a couple of years, right? And yeah, a lot can change in that time, but I had like a mustache if I didn't shave it. And sometimes it just hits people differently. Like I don't know that I'd be able to tell that kind of difference. But, obviously you can tell the difference between the vast majority of fucking, 8-year-olds and 18-year-olds. Like, of course. But like an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old might be like if you hit puberty earlier, who the fuck knows? I think part of it is like like high school movies and whatnot have really fucked with the perception because usually you have like a fucking 40-year-old, like a 25-year-old cast as like a 15-year-old, and they're like jacked as shit, right? It's fucking Chris Evans, and he's supposed to be like a senior in high school, and you're just like, brother, he could have a kid this age. What are you saying? This has a really comfortable handle. Anyway, all that is to say that bro, I don't know his age, but he's a very talented blacksmith. I assume this was made in his like later career. Um, just because it's not as perfected. And look, I'm not saying it's bad, right? I wouldn't have bought it and kept it if I thought it wasn't worth it. But you know, I feel like a younger blacksmith would have been like, "Oh no, there's like a slight imperfection in my grind. Trash." Whereas someone who's like maybe a year or two off from it retiring is like, "It's good enough. It's handmade. What the fuck do they expect?" I don't know. That's how I would be anyway. I have actually a handful of this guy's knives. I feel like they're probably, if you can even find one retail at this point. I only know of like one store that still would have them, I think, and that's Knife Ship Free. Um, I honestly think these are like the best value, like fully, truly forged, like hand forged knives out there, because you can find them occasionally for like around 200 ish, which is just insane. Or at least you used to be able to. I guess I don't know anymore. But like, to put that into perspective, I get that this isn't like a super steel. It's 52-100, which is just like a plain old. I don't even know if it would be a. I guess it'll probably. People would call it a tool steel. I don't know if it's actually a tool steel. I would. I feel like it's like. I don't know what to call it. Like a mechanical steel. Um, I guess it's just a tool steel, but it's like a perfectly fine steel, by the way. But like, I don't think you can find. I think the original price of these is around $500. At that price, you can find probably no other knives that are hand forged already, without a huge weight. So that fact alone is insane. I don't understand why like they're in stock anywhere, to be honest. Especially now that he's announced his retirement. But to put it into perspective, one of the most popular hand forged knife companies out there. I think they have some models in like the high 500s. It would be Randall made knives. Um, you cannot find them. They have a 7-year wait list if you want to pay around $500. Otherwise, you're gonna have to buy retail if they have them, and there's usually like a $200 uptick to those. Because they'll just sell like a base model, and even then, it's still gonna be like a year wait if they don't have them in stock. And it's not going to be like as, I don't know, in my experience, not as unique. I mean, there's a couple of them I'm a huge fan of that are just their base ones, particularly the blade shape, like the bird and trout. I like is a little like trailing point Bowie style. I like their Trailblazer, but you're looking at paying almost double for the most part, or more than double if you just want one now and you're not willing to wait 7 years. Like the fact that you can just pick this up from like Knife Ship Free or somewhere, if they still have them, is nuts. Like fully hand forged. Now, other companies like Darlington Edgecraft, Fiddleback Forge, I don't think they forge the steel themselves. I think they get like pre-done billets, and there's nothing wrong with this, by the way. Darlington is way underpriced, by the way. I don't know what she's doing. I think it's because she's new and she's trying to like make a name for herself, and it's like Like, but they're so good for the price. She does stuff under $300, but they're like hand ground. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as if she doesn't do things by hand. I just don't, as far as I know, I don't think they like forge it out, like hammer to metal a billet, from the start. I could be wrong on that, but I think they like buy metal from, say, I guess it would be what, Pops now? I think Pops might, I don't know. Because Crucible's out of business. Wherever they get their metal from, I think it's like preformed, and maybe they hammer it out a little bit, but it's not like completely drawn out as far as I'm aware. I think it's like, okay, here's your like blank, and then you take like a water jet, or you just take a hand grinder and you grind it down, and then you heat treat it. Once it's generally to shape, then you grind it down to its like final form, and then you put the handles on. And that's impressive, by the way. That's still extremely impressive. And like Fiddleback and Darlington have like the best handles in the business. um Not kidding. Like, their shit is actually like, I don't think I've ever handled one of their knives that wasn't like, for example, where this is like crooked here, right? The grind lines are crooked. Their stuff is all not crooked ever. I think this one is like, one of these sides is slightly bigger, and then it's like slightly off. You know what I mean? But like, that's fine. This was hand forged from the start. This is like a lot more work, a lot more time. Not that there's less necessarily effort. It's just different effort. And I think more time for something like this. But like, fully hand forged, I don't think there's anything you can find uh that competes with this. I don't know. The dude, I feel like I haven't seen too much from him lately, but I feel like he was getting maybe really depressed at some point. He used to have a YouTube channel that he would show himself forging the whole thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about the other companies. I feel like generally what they do, is what I said, where they like get a blank in from a manufacturer. So they like make a sheet sounds really thin, but it's like a thick sheet. Like, it's probably thicker than this, right? And then they like not laser cut, but like water jet out, CNC mill out, or grind down the shape themselves. And that's how you end up like with the shape of the knife, and then they go from there. But then like this, you start out with like, I don't even know, probably an ingot. So it'll be like, think of like a gold bar. You know what I mean? But of steel. Like old school, real blacksmithing. Not that I wouldn't consider like the way the other ones are made, like, you know, those aren't any less impressive. It's just a different impressive. I don't know how to put it. I feel like I sound kind of rude to the other people. I want to be clear, like, those other companies I mentioned are fantastic for their price as well. It's just, I don't think they're like fully hand forged. I think they're hand crafted, but I don't know. There's just like a difference. It's not like, it's not even really an important difference. A lot of people would probably argue that the other way is better at this point, right? Having like a major manufacturer make their specialized powdered metal, and then letting them, you know, do like the hard part, get it into the correct shape, and then you like finalize the shape by turning that like sheet, turning your rectangular sheet into a knife shape with like a belt sander or something. All right, that's probably smarter and more efficient, and lets you use probably more uniform and probably like better steels in a way, because there's some steels out there that are almost certainly like way too difficult to deal with, which is why a lot of like more old school smiths will stick with something like 52-100 or '01, or maybe like 440 something if they're going stainless, instead of something like crazy hard like S90V. It's probably just easier for them to like pull out and then get, get the heat treat right. Plus, like I said, I think S90V probably um fuck, there's no S90V anymore, is there? Who owns that? Cuz that was Crucible, wasn't it? And Crucible's out of business. Um but, if it comes already in like a close enough form, why would you bother like, you know? Doesn't make sense. If it's already like in the shape of the fucking thing, there's not as much work you have to do. Do, 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 do. Anyway, all that is to say, if you can find one of these in stock, it will not be like a flawlessly shaped thing. Each one will be both completely different, hammer marks, completely different. I mean, it's wood. It's fucking box elder, right? Each one will be dyed different colors, and the pattern in it will be different. It's probably from a different fucking tree, you know? Like, of course, it's gonna have differences to it, right? It's gonna have different hammering marks. But yeah, I would definitely pick one of these up if I saw one. Very very solid, solid knife. Not the best steel in the world in terms of like what's available these days, but like in terms of what's available these days, it's fine. You know what I mean? You're buying it because some guy spent the time to hit it with a hammer. That's it in America. Um, but all that was to try and say I didn't get scammed. I'll have you know I don't care. I care a little. I don't know how I'm messing this grind line up so much. This is the edge. Okay. Do 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 do. Ba da ba ba bum. All right, let's do a LART real quick. I spent too much time yapping, and I'm sorry about that. What if I... Sorry, wrong one. If I do that, how are we looking? Damn, man. You know, a lot of people talk about drawing damn it. Drawing everyday objects. Why the fuck did I draw a chicken and a knife? Like, what the fuck is my everyday going on here? It's every day, bro. I think maybe tomorrow I'll try and pre-pick something. Dude, what am I doing? Why can't I draw this? Do, 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 do. Jesus fucking Christ, what did I do? Man. I know I could just use the circle tool, alright? I'm not going to, though. There we go. That kind of comes out like that. Okay. How do I want to do this? Let's go ahead and clear that for now. I'm thinking Lart, select, do it, go back. How do I have two paint layers? Am I tripping? What the fuck? So let's take like gold and yellow if we can. Do we have like eraser tool selected? Is that the problem? Sure is. Okay, so let's make this like a no. Wait. 100%, make the layer 50%. See, is that right? Doesn't really feel right, but we're gonna stick with it. Okay. Call this base. So now I should be able to like come in on a fresh layer. Oh fuck, that's not what I meant to do. But like on a fresh layer and do something like this. Yeah, now we get like a little bit of color from that. So let's see what happens if I pick like a pinkish for this pink lemonade style handle. Okay. So we sort of get the impression there. Out of curiosity, I haven't ever used this. This is the gradient tool, right? Hmm. Okay. All right. Wait a minute. Okay. We might be onto something with this. Okay. Interesting. What if I do it on the same layer? So something like this, but it's like, what if I like then blend, oh God, oh no. So what if I then take this and then blend maybe here? Does that do anything for us? Not really. And what if I then take this though and do this? So where we kind of get like that vibe. Okay. We're on to something here. I just don't know that this is right for what I'm doing though. Reverse spiral? Is that just gonna be the same fucking thing? Yeah. Shaped. Oh, that's not bad. Thinking maybe conical might be the play. No. What was didn't one of the conicals work? Hmm. Nope. Okay. So something like that. And then we'll go over it. Well, what if we actually do this on a separate layer? Hold on. Okay. So we have that. Now we have this. And then it kind of comes out like that. Okay. So what if we just kind of like, you know, make our own? I think maybe this tool that I'm using should probably be smaller. All right, so let's get this nice and merged for now. All right. And then let's take maybe a smaller version of this and like actually kind of, you know, and maybe just like go a shade darker for some of it. Then we'll do something similar here where this kind of just comes up. Then we'll go like a shade darker maybe. Well, if we just... that's a little too blended. I want it to be just like lightly blended. I don't want it to feel like a bunch of lines, but I want it to feel like a bunch of lines. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't feel like I'm doing it justice, but I'm doing the best I can here. Maybe do a little bit of black like right here, because that's what we've got going on. Okay. What if I like take this and just kind of like do something like that? Like twice maybe? And then that's not too good. Not too bad, but it's not too good. Okay. All right. Let's take a break from this because I feel like it's starting to look like piss. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna select, deselect. Fuck, what am I doing? Oh, I'm not cooking. Sorry, select, paint layer, new paint layer. Put this under. So this will be scale. This will be blade. And the reason I'm gonna do this way is I'm gonna just be really cheap here. Okay. Okay. I know we have a lanyard tube on this. I think I might just like make it a pin for now. Okay. Do that later, I guess. Hopefully this works the way I'm intending it to work. Trust. Okay. So let's do a shade layer. Should have done some of this on the shade layer, thinking about it. Yeah, probably. Okay. Yeah, I should have done this on the shade layer. Sorry. I don't know why I thought I was shading and then I just kind of like went brain dead. That's okay. We can live with this for now. Um, we're gonna get it there. Have a little faith. Okay. Okay. How the fuck do I draw these like little stippling spots? Am I stupid? Find out right now. The answer is absolutely. Okay. All right. Let's take a little bit of white and we'll do a little bit of light. Move the shade below the blade. Also do it below the base, actually. Change this to multiply. Did that work? I don't know. Change this to lighten. Come on now. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Okay. I mean, we want it to look a little used, right? Get a little staining going on. Finish doesn't have to be perfect on something like this. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, let's go back to shade. Okay. Not too shabby. Okay. So let's do a little blade. So, oh, here's what I'm gonna do. That's not right. Okay. I don't think this is the right technique for what I'm doing here, but I don't know the technique, so, you know. The fuck am I doing? Bro, I hate this. I fucking hate this, man. Somebody stop me. Yeah, I'm not liking it. Okay. Maybe like a smidge of darkness over, bro. Not too shabby. Go to shade. Throw some shade. My bad. That's fine. We'll deal with that in a sec. I'm yipping my last knees, boys. Interesting. All right. I don't feel like I did this justice at all. I don't know how to put it. Shit. I'm upsetting spaghetti. I should have just drawn another chicken. All right. Nobody saves anything as a PGM, bro. Like, it's not real. Okay. Let's do that. Okay. So let's go ahead and everything's deselected. So let's go ahead and remove the LART. Let's see how this looks. Actually, I kind of like it better with the LART for once. Maybe not. Yeah, I do. Okay. Here's what I'm going to say. I just stepped on plastic. I don't know. Today, it's weird. Today, I was pretty confident that I was going to draw an anime girl. But, like, I don't know. Everything I was looking at, I didn't feel like I could do today. I don't know how to explain it. So we kind of just took a second and did this and the chicken. And I think the chicken was good. I don't know that it came out good, but I think it was a good experience to like try and wing like a brush, like to try and copy a style that I've never really done before. I feel like that was kind of nice. This, I don't know. I did like that I learned a little bit about gradient tool. I wouldn't say I really learned it, but it is kind of nice. It's something I think I can keep in mind. It might be a good way to like maybe do a base gray for like say gray hair, and then like I might be able to cheese shading with that. That's what I'm thinking. Um, Whether or not we actually utilize it remains to be seen. But it was a good little learning experience from that perspective. But I just don't feel like my lines were good today. I feel like I couldn't do a clean line, which was kind of the prevailing feeling most of the day. It's why I ultimately just didn't feel like I could do a lot of this stuff. I think maybe it's because we drew too much yesterday. Tomorrow morning, I will try my best to actually have something. Maybe I'll just draw like a really famous. You know what? Maybe we'll just draw Saraway or whatever. But you know what I mean? On purpose this time, not on accident. But you know what I mean? Like, just find something. The problem is, most of the big VTubers aren't doing like their own artwork. They're just like paying people, or they're like retweeting fan stuff, which is cool. Like, I'm not saying there's anything necessarily wrong with that. The problem is when I'm copying someone else's fan art, yes, I'm using it to learn, but like, God, how do I put this? Most of it's porn. Most of it's fucking very lewd. Um, and it's like I have to curate this. So it's like I have to plan for what I'm gonna do if that's gonna be the case. And I need to like make sure it's from like a legit artist if that's gonna be the case. Because again, you know, they'll retweet or quote retweet or whatever the fan art, and it's great, but they're all cheeked up, and I'm not necessarily opposed to drawing that, but I don't know if we can get away with drawing that on stream. Uh, we'll see. Anyway, I don't remember the name of this. I think it's either blacktail or whitetail. I don't know. It's some type of deer because I think it's supposed to look like their deer tail. Um, cool knife. I don't know. I feel like I didn't do the like stippling good justice here. Um, but yeah, I guess I'll like curate something that's like very safe for work, that's doable for me for hopefully tomorrow and the next day most likely, and probably also that Wednesday. I don't know. But thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna get off for now. Thanks for chilling. Hopefully I can catch you in the next one, whatever that is. But until then, get me the fuck out of here because I suck.